Let's talk about advantages of database mirroring. Okay, the first point is hardware software upgrades can be simplified. Okay, let us say we have this principal server, mirror server, and witness server. Okay, and let us say we have SQL Server 2008 on principal and mirror, and we wanted to upgrade 2008 to 2008 R2. Okay, so in that case, what we can do first, let us say we have the database mirroring session, goes like this from principal to mirror. Okay, so initially we will be having 2008 on both the machines, and we wanted to upgrade to 2008 R2. In that case, if it is in synchronous mode, then we need to convert the synchronous mode to asynchronous mode. Okay, after converting the operating mode, after changing the operating mode to asynchronous mode, then you can pass the mirroring. Okay, and you can upgrade the servers, upgrade the mirror server to 2008 R2 and resume the mirroring session and change the asynchronous mode to synchronous mode. If the database mirroring session is in synchronous mode, then you have to change it. Otherwise, you don't need to. Basically, when the server is passed, then you have to watch for the log file on the principal server, because the send queue will keep growing. Then we cannot truncate the log file, so it may eat the complete disk space. Okay, so this is what is called as rolling upgrade. So we'll discuss about the rolling upgrade in detail later. Okay, so basically, if you want to upgrade the hardware or software, anything, so it is very easy. Pass the mirroring session, upgrade the mirror server, and fail over the services from principal to mirror, and again pass the mirroring session, upgrade the new mirror, that is old principal server, and resume the mirroring session. Okay, so that is what it is. The downtime will be less. Okay, so the next advantage is it increases the data protection. In other words, disaster recovery. So if you use database mirroring in asynchronous mode, then the purpose is typically disaster recovery methodology. Okay, that is one advantage. And the third one is increases the database availability, HR. HA. Okay, so synchronous mode. And the cost of the database mirroring is less compared to clustering. For the clustering, you need to have a specific software, for example Windows 2008 on both the servers, and same version, and hardware compatibility list you have to go through. So you have to buy the storage, shared storage. It could be SAN, iSCSI, whatever it is. So basically clustering is costly compared to database mirroring. Okay, and it is not limited by geographical distance. So next point is it is robust and efficient than log shipping and replication. Mirroring is also called as real-time log shipping. It has overcome the issues with log shipping and replication. It is simpler to set up the database mirroring compared to log shipping and replication. And it also has the built-in encryption mechanism. Okay. And it supports the full text. Okay, so the next point is failover is fast compared to cluster. Failover occurs very fast because the mirror server has already applied the transaction log. When the mirror detects that primary has failed, it rolls back any uncommitted transaction and then makes the database available. On an average, failover takes between 3 to 5 seconds, whereas in clustering, it brings the services up on the passive node and recovers the log records from the log file. I mean, roll forward the log records, and it takes some time. And if it is very large database, it takes really quite some time. Okay, so the next point would be we can use mirroring server to host the database for different application. For example, let us say we have a mirror server. Let us write that down. Mirror server can be used to host databases or other applications, not like clustering. Okay, for example, we can have databases on the mirror server. Those databases can be used for other applications. Okay, so let us say you have the application server, and this is the database for the application server, and you mirror this database. But on the mirror server, you can have different set of databases for different applications. Okay, so basically fully utilizing the mirror server. Let's talk about disadvantages. It doesn't support file stream, and it is one of the database mirroring requirement. I forgot to mention in the requirements list. Database mirroring does not support file stream. That is a disadvantage for mirroring. Okay, but it supports the full text, because database backup, full text is part of database backup, so you can completely take the backup of full text and restore it on the mirror server. So it is covered, but not the file streams. Okay, and the next disadvantage is potential loss of data in asynchronous mode, that is high performance mode. Okay, that is one disadvantage. So you may lose some data, the transactions that are happening. For example, if in the high performance mode you have a lot of log records in the send queue that needs to be shipped over to mirror server, and if principal server goes down, then you may lose that send queue. Okay, that is one disadvantage. And the other disadvantage is mirror server is not available for read-only purposes. Whereas in log shipping, the secondary server, we can use the databases on the secondary server as a read-only. Okay, so we cannot do that on database mirroring. On the mirror server, we can create database snapshot and we can read the data. Okay, but we have to pay the license for that. Okay, the database mirroring, the technology doesn't allow to read the data from the mirror database, period, whereas log shipping allows. Okay, that is a disadvantage for database mirroring. But in Denali, in the HADR technology, Microsoft allows to read the mirror database. That is advancement in the next SQL Server version. Okay. Next disadvantage is it works at the database level, not at the server level. That means you can mirror the database, not the complete server. Whereas in clustering, it completely mirrors the server in the instance. Okay, so the logins, maintenance plan, whatever the objects that are outside the database, you have the mirror copy on the cluster, the passive node. Okay, but not in the database mirroring. So for example, if you create a lot of jobs, maintenance plans, linked servers, etc. on the principal server, and principal server goes down, you need to create all of them on mirror server. Otherwise, it may break. Okay, so that is one disadvantage of database mirroring. And another disadvantage is if multiple database failover. Okay, if multiple databases are mirrored, then automatic failover may not be a right choice, because there are chances that one database might fail over and rest of them remains on another server. Okay, but in Denali, the next version of SQL Server, it is covered, but not in 2008 R2. Okay, let's talk about mirroring enhancements in SQL Server 2008. The first major enhancement is automatic page repair. We have few page errors like 823, 824, 829. These page errors are automatically corrected in the mirroring. Okay, so for example, if one of these page error occurs in the principal, and if the corrupted page is there in the mirror, then mirroring section automatically is going to get that page from mirror and correct the page on the principal. Okay, 823 is cyclic redundancy fail error. Okay, and 824 is logical errors. 825 is restore pending. Okay, so when there is a data page read error on the principal, then an entry is placed into the suspect pages table in MSDB database for the particular page in error. Then the principal sends the page ID and current LSN to the mirror server. At the same time, the page is marked as restore pending, making it inaccessible to the application queries. Mirror attempts to retrieve the page identified by the page ID provided within the request. Assuming that mirror can access the page, it is returned to the principal. The principal server replaces the corrupted page with the new page from the mirror. Okay, so the page is marked as restored within the suspected pages table as event type is 4. Okay, and the principal applied any deferred transaction. Okay, when there is a data page read error on the mirror, then the procedure is almost same. Okay, when a page error is detected on the mirror, then it's going to do the same as what it's going to happen on principal. Okay, but the mirroring session will be in suspended state till it recovers the page. Okay, the page error repairs are performed asynchronously. So request for the corrupt page may fail while the page is being replaced. Depending on the state of the page repair, the request will return the appropriate error code 823 or 824 or 829, which indicates the page is marked as restoring and actively being restored. It may be possible to account for this within the data access layer of your application and retry the query if you know the database mirroring is being used. Okay, but there are certain page errors, page types that mirroring cannot repair. The pages like file header page, a database boot page, and allocations page such as global allocation map pages, shared global allocation map, and page free space pages, things like that. Those pages mirroring cannot correct. Okay, this is one of the major enhancement in 2008. Okay, so the next one is compression of mirroring data stream. Okay, this is to minimize the network bandwidth. Okay, so the compression might be slightly burdened to server because it has to compress and send the data and send it to the mirror server. So CPU utilization will be slightly higher on the principal and mirror server. Not only that, server will be processing more transactions per second, and this adds to CPU utilization on both sides. If you do index maintenance operation that generates lot of log data, then it may be better use log compress feature. SQL Server will compress the data stream between the partners only when a 12.5% compress ratio can be achieved. Okay, so this is another significant feature. And the next one is log send buffers. Okay, they are used efficiently. Efficient use. Okay, the fourth one is write ahead events. They are enhanced in 2008. Okay, the fifth one is page read ahead during the undo phase. Okay, these are the major enhancements in 2008. Next, let's look into the licensing options. We don't need to purchase a license for the mirror server. Okay, so all we need to buy is the license for the principal server. Okay, so in case of failover, we can use the mirror server for 30 days and we have to fail back to the principal server. If we are going to use the mirror server more than 30 days, then we need to purchase the license for the mirror server. Okay, there is a 30 days allowable option for mirror. Okay, you can mirror the databases between the standard and enterprise. Okay, principal server can be standard and mirror can be enterprise, not vice versa. Okay, database mirroring will not allow us to read the database on the mirror server. Okay, but we can use database snapshot to read the data on the mirror server for reporting purposes, things like that. Okay, but if we create snapshots on the mirror server, then we need to purchase a license for the mirror server. Okay, database snapshots on mirror server, then we need to So the other thing is 32 and 64 bit. Right now there is nothing specific about this, but according to various forums, we can mix and match 32 and 64 bit versions. Okay, because the file format is going to be the same, the storage the medium is going to be the same, so it is not going to be a big concern, but generally it is not recommended. Okay, either you keep both the servers, principal and mirror, either on 32 or 64. Okay, so these are the various licensing options. Now our next step is we are going to dive into the database mirroring. We are done with theory part, and we are going to do the real database mirroring setup.